Hey, ladies. We are really excited you're here. I'm Janine. This is Natalie. And whether you're here because you want more breathing room in your budget, you want to pay off some debt, or want to replace an income and maybe build a legacy in kingdom wealth to make a bigger impact in the kingdom, or maybe you just want to make some more memories and travel smarter, you're in the right place. And we want to make sure that you stay till the end for a special promo. So as you listen, just stay open and ask yourself, what if this is the answer to something you've been praying for? And what if it actually fits your life?
Yeah, and we are just really going to have a conversation with you today and show you what's been working for us and so many other families.
So let me ask you a question. What if you didn't have to choose between being present in your life and providing for it, or between what you feel called to do and what your family needs? What if you could actually build your life around your priorities instead of constantly trying to fit everything in? What if you could start creating more memories now, not someday? And what if the lifestyle that you already want, more travel, more experiences, more memories, and time as a family, was actually the front door to creating income? And what if it didn't have to feel so complicated anymore? Like you're constantly trying to piece together income, life, responsibilities. What if there was a way that it actually felt simple, aligned, and sustainable for your season?
And if you're anything like me, you've wanted that, but it either felt overwhelming or like nothing actually fit your life. But then we started realizing something. If we're craving something simpler, more flexible, more aligned, then logically, we're probably not the only ones. And there are a lot of families right now who want to get from what they already spend more time, more flexibility. And then there are a lot of women who feel that tension, like they were made for more, but don't want to sacrifice what matters most to step into it.
And when something actually solves that, you don't have to convince people. It spreads because it makes sense. But here's what we started to notice. Most people have been conditioned to believe that travel is limited, has to be rushed, or something that you only do once a year. That life looks like work now, wait till later. That freedom is something you have to earn someday. And because of that, so many people are just not actually living the life they've been working for and not stepping into the abundance that God is calling them to. And so we started asking, what if it didn't have to work that way? What if travel wasn't just something you saved up for, but something that could actually become part of your life?
And what if the way people are already sharing what they love, what they recommend, could actually turn into something more?
So, just to give you a little context about us, I'm a mom of five boys. And over the last few years, we had built a life around traveling full time, different countries, different experiences and cultures. And from the outside, it looked like freedom. But behind the scenes, I still knew there had to be more aligned way to sustain it because I didn't want a life that just looked free, but required constant hustle to maintain it.
Yeah, and for me, I was a teacher and I wanted to be fully present with my family and be able to come home to my son and still though be able to contribute financially. I didn't want to have to start over every month or I wanted something that was going to be simple and that could actually be built over time and feel really aligned with who we are in our lifestyle.
Yeah, and between the two of us, we had seen a lot, different businesses, different models, and this was the first thing that we saw that just really checked every box because it was more simple, it was flexible, it was residual and aligned, and just really built to support your life and help you build that priority lifestyle and not compete with your priorities.
So I want you to imagine this for a minute. If you could go anywhere tomorrow, where would you go? And what would it feel like to say yes without stressing about money and to actually have your time back and stop putting life off for later? Because what would it feel like to know that you're actually walking in alignment and with God, with what God has put into your heart?
Because that's where most people are living right now, and it doesn't have to stay that way. So the real question becomes, how do you actually want to live? Not what you've settled for, but what you actually want. Who do you want to do life with? Because the right vehicle matters, but alignment matters even more, especially when you're stepping into what God has called you to and the people that He's called you to bless.
So, before we continue, I want you to just see this. These are real families, not influencers, not people with massive audiences. These are everyday people that are excited about making more memories and having travel experiences with their family. And now they're getting more value from it. And you'll see things like this: a four-star hotel for significantly less, a trip that would have cost $700 to $400. And this is what stood out to me. They're also earning credits and loyalty points, things that actually build over time. And just to be clear, not every single thing is going to be cheaper, but overall, the value is going to add up whether you're traveling often or not. So, what people are really buying here isn't just travel. They're buying more yes moments, more spontaneous memories, more confidence that a different kind of life is actually possible. And ultimately, they're buying back their time.
So, what is this exactly? Well, at its core, this is a membership and a lifestyle platform. It's a travel and lifestyle membership. It has built in value, meaning better pricing, rewards, loyalty points. And then, if you want to, there's a business side as well, where you can earn by simply sharing it because people are already doing that anyways. How often do you see someone sharing their Starbucks drink or even just sharing their favorite movie?
Exactly. So, how does this work? Well, you're going to use the membership and then you're going to get value from using it. And then, if you choose to, you can share it with other people. And over time, that's going to turn into reoccurring income. So, not from constantly starting over, but from what you've already been building upon.
So, when it comes to travel, families are in different places. Some are already traveling often, some maybe take trips once a year, and some want to, but it just hasn't felt doable yet. And what stood out to us was the idea that whenever you do spend on something like this, it could actually create more value and opportunities to travel instead of just being an expense. And so this isn't necessarily about like booking trips for other people. You're not becoming a travel agent and you're not doing that trading time for money. This is a membership model. It's built around recurring value that compounds instead of resetting every month. So, what this platform is actually doing is removing a lot of the traditional layers in travel. Most people book through third party sites with markups built in. This model simply strips a lot of that away and passes the value back to you. So, instead of paying retail, you're accessing more of a member based system and wholesale style pricing. And on top of that, you're not just a customer, you actually have ownership in the model. And this is what it actually looks like. We have all different things that you can book on here. We have hotels. We do have flights on here. I will say flights are very similar to what you're going to see elsewhere. That's just kind of how flights are across the board. But it's really cool because you can book them with travel credits and stuff. We have rental cars, activities, all in one place, and it's designed to feel familiar with what you're used to using. But behind the scenes, you're getting access to, member pricing, and you can even see up here, like I have $40.63 in travel credits and then loyalty points, which are dollar for dollar. So I've got 1,850 loyalty points. So with that, you're building that up every single month. And that's then from, having a membership here, right? And then using it.
So we're going to show you some real examples of hotel. So this is one of a hotel savings. You can see it's the same dates, but you can see the difference clearly in pricing from something like booking.com to then using our travel app on the right side. And then on top of that, you're going to be earning credits and you apply the loyalty points that's going to help you offset the cost even more. So here's another example of using, as you can see, just a hotel here and then from one to the next. And so not now savings are gonna might vary for this, but not everything's always gonna be cheaper. But here's what I love with hotels and resorts, you're actually gonna be backed by 150% price match guarantee on those. And over time, this is where too your value will stack up. And then here's an example of a vacation comparison. So going to the Baha Mar here, and then also we can see ours pricing significantly changes on the right side.
Yeah, and for me, that's what made it make sense. I had a lot of things. I've looked at a lot of things over the years. Being that we traveled full time, I've been approached by a lot of different businesses in the travel and lifestyle space, but this was the first one that really checked all the boxes. And it's because it really works for real life family trips, sports, quick getaways, conferences. It's not all just luxury trips and bucket list locations. So this isn't just about just like one-time savings. When you use the platform, you're earning travel credits, and whether you use the platform monthly or not, you're still earning loyalty points that are dollar for dollar. So you either earn 120 or 240 each month depending on where you start. So instead of money going out and just being gone, it's actually stacking toward future experiences. And then as that builds after 12 months, you can use those points to pay for a life experience for two.
And here are actually some examples of our life experiences. We have new ones that come out every single month that you can choose from. And you can see here these vary in length, but they are all really discounted. And you can use your loyalty points anytime toward these trips. So, for example, for our anniversary, they came out with the Costa Rica life experience. I was able to put $300 in loyalty points for both of me and my husband to go. And so you can see for one person, it's 5.99, and then I use a $200 credit. So I was able to just go for that week for 3.99. And then say it was I had been a member for 12 months, I would actually be able to use 1,100, so at that point it'd be $1,198 of loyalty points that would then more than cover, right, to pay for us to do that Costa Rica life experience. And for some of you now, this alone is going to make sense. You use the membership, you save, you're going to build rewards. And honestly, that by itself is super valuable. Before you go and set that part up, would you like to see how some people are getting their membership covered and even creating income from it?
And some of you might be thinking, we're not really traveling that much right now. We're busy. We're in such a full season of life, or we already have something we use. And that makes sense because for most families, it's not always about taking more trips right now. It's about having the option, it's the flexibility, the financial breathing room to do those things when it does make sense. So it helps you to get more value or build towards that lifestyle because we know that so many people are looking to have more intentional family memories without overpaying, to be able to turn that everyday spending into something that just supports your lifestyle. And also, you may just be in a place that you just really need help with groceries. Maybe you just need to pay some bills. Maybe you just need to pay off some debt and have more flexibility. Maybe not work so many jobs or so many hours as a mom and have a way to be able to contribute financially from home. And this really solves both of those.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what if you could make more money, whether you were traveling or just living your normal life? And what if you could get paid for the time you're already spending on your phone, sharing things, recommending things? And what if it just created that breathing room for you without adding more pressure? And what if this was a way to create more without sacrificing what matters most to you and your family? And what if it actually just built over time?
Because that's what we're going to show you next.
So this isn't just about travel. It's about the kind of life you're building and the way you spend your time, the way you show up for your family, and the options that you actually have. Honestly, it's about who you become in the process. You're learning new skills, you're thinking differently, you're surrounding yourself with incredible people, and you start to see what's actually possible. So this also isn't just about making money. It's about creating the impact in the lives of others, having more, like we said, that breathing room, opportunities and those yes moments, being more intentional and even just enjoying more memories now instead of waiting for the future or just someday to come.
Yeah, and here's the reality. A lot of online businesses, they sound good, but when you're actually in them, it can feel a lot like income resetting every month. Feels like you're constantly starting over, and you're just like more effort doesn't always equal more results. And for us, that just really wasn't sustainable. And between the two of us, we've been in this space a long time. We've seen what works and what doesn't. And honestly, we weren't even looking for something new, but we knew what we wanted. We knew we wanted more sustainability, leverage, and longevity, alignment with leaders, ability to create kingdom impact, and create a priority lifestyle. And we realized when we saw this that we didn't need more effort. We actually needed a different vehicle. And so once we saw this, we just couldn't unsee it. And so we are really on a mission to help more kingdom minded families just have breakthrough in their finances without sacrificing their faith and family.
So, what we love, who are the abundance waymakers? Well, we are a collective of kingdom minded families building leverage, reoccurring income through a simple model so that you can create more freedom, more memories, and more impact and live a life of abundance, all while you're still keeping God at the center.
And why we were really intentional about what we chose and why we decided to choose this partnership is, we had to be aligned with who we worked with. We wanted a kingdom driven community and we needed something that was built around recurring income. So we weren't starting over every month. And it also had to be a company with integrity from the top down, a quality product, which I love that also that this is digital, makes it so much more simple, and then happy members. And when you combine the trends of travel, digital, AI, global memberships, and referral based models, it just makes sense where things are going. So here we've got this incredible kingdom minded mentorship. We have an established company that's over 10 years old, debt free, and we have the timing and positioning of launching now in North America, in Australia as well.
What we want you to know is this is not a get rich quick. We're not becoming a travel agent. We're not worrying about having inventory and you're not glued to your phone all day and you're definitely not building this alone. All right. So here are some other great examples of some testimonies. People who've shared why they join and partner here over having other businesses. What made this feel different for them? And what I noticed was they all have very, similar answers, which was they're not selling products. So it wasn't holding inventory. They weren't having to, it wasn't about taking another job. And it actually felt simple, digital, and like something they could fit into their real life. And for a long time, some of them had looked at other things before as well, and this was the first one that also checked all the boxes for them. I remember reading one where she said she didn't want to plan travel for other people and she didn't want to be working all the time. And that was something that was, how I felt. I thought if I'm going to be doing something, I want to actually be present when I'm home and be something that could build around wherever I'm at and whatever I'm doing. I think for a lot of us, it's not looking for more to do. We're looking for something that works with our life, not against it. And another thing that kept coming up was that this didn't feel like we mentioned this, not starting over every month. That means you're not having to worry about just always having to, where your income's resetting and you have to constantly put in a bunch of more effort to make that come. And it felt like something that you could actually build over time. And so that's when it just started to click that this isn't just an opportunity, it's a really different way of doing things. Because one of the things I know for me, I was praying for something. Like she said, I wasn't really necessarily looking for something new, but I was praying for something that could actually help us with what we were needing financially and for the lifestyle my husband and I were wanting.
So, this isn't random. This model is growing for a reason. Travel is already one of the biggest things that families spend money on, and memberships create ongoing value, and people are already sharing what they love. This just puts structure around that and actually rewards it.
When you start, we want you to know you're not figuring this out on your own. Okay, so there's a very clear plan, and you can see here on the slide what we're going to be able to help you with your launching, your growth, and leadership and mentorship along the way. So you're going to know exactly what to do, what to say. You'll have support from people who are actually doing it alongside of you.
Let's dive in to how to earn. If you're looking to build income, impact, and freedom, this is where it starts. We get paid 9 ways. Daily, it starts at $4 a day and can go all the way up to $15,000 a day. Then also weekly and monthly cash flow. And so this is through monthly memberships, upfront bonuses, residual income. So when you choose to build, that's where it can grow fast and your daily pay increases.
And this is going to be to reward your consistency as well as you continue to build.
How you get started, you've got two different options here. So, first, you can start off as a customer. You can use the travel membership, save on travel, and earn loyalty points. Or you can get started and build with us with a lifestyle ambassador. You can use the membership yourself, earn loyalty points, and then get paid to share it and build with our systems and our support. And both are valid. It just depends on what your goals are and where you're at in your season of life. So, honestly, whether you are a customer or ambassador, Turbo is the option where most people get started. But I want to share with you just how you do this. So, first, if you're going to start as an ambassador, it is $99 a year. That is it. That sets up your entire business. It's incredible. $239. This is to set up your travel portal and your elite membership. With the elite membership, you're going to earn 120 loyalty points. That's dollar for dollar every single month. And then if you decide to do the turbo, which is what we recommend for the best value, you're still paying the same amount per month, but you're actually going to be getting double the loyalty points. So the turbo has a one-time upgrade of 249, but you end up getting that back in loyalty points instantly. So you start with $490 back in loyalty points, and then you get 240 loyalty points every single month. And so for Turbo, the all-in best value is 588, and then it's 119 a month.
All right. And here's what made this a no brainer for me when I saw this because with just a few people, when you refer three elite members, then you can cover your membership and then help others do the same thing. So now you're not paying and you're working together and you're all benefiting. So now what does this look like? Okay. Think about what this is what has this been able to pay for? So I love it's different for everybody. For some, groceries, it's kids' activities, it's a car payment or a mortgage payment. For others, it's life-changing trips and extra breathing room. And for some, it grows into something much bigger, which we want to share a few of these with you as well. Because if you're big dreamers and ambitious like Janine and I, who we want more out of life and we want to know that it's possible. When I met Carly and she's become a good friend of ours, I just love her story. She's had her fourth baby and she's not in some perfect season with tons of extra time and energy. She's right in the middle of real life. And when she got started last summer, she didn't have everything figured out. She just needed something that could actually work in the middle of that because she had been actually at negative $700 in her bank account. She borrowed from her family, and in her first 2 months, she was able to make over $36,000. Now, that's not everyone's experience, but it does show what's possible, and when you stay consistent with the right things even in the season where it's hard or you're limited, things are possible for you. Then you can see Jenna here as well, just what it did for her in her first 24 hours. $1,000. Then here is our good friend Christy. She was a nurse. She's a mom of five. And she is someone who just cares so much about others. And what I appreciate about her is she didn't come into this with also everything figured out. And in fact, she also wasn't even looking for this, but God knew what she and her family needed. And so she jumped right in as she shared right away, partially because they were behind three mortgage payments and they needed something. And so she was very consistent. And now she has over time been able to become one of our incredible leaders and mentors and she has reached the 100K club within 6 months.
So honestly, how you build this can look different depending on, what your season, your goals are. Some people move fast, some move slow. There's no one way. It just depends on what you have capacity for, but you'll see here how you can make your first $600. And this gives families two huge wins. It's access to save money on vacations and experiences that they already want to take, and the opportunity for moms or even dads to create extra income from home that pays residually without having to compromise your core values.
All right, so at this point, You get to decide. If this resonates with you, there's probably a reason, and you are going to want to get started sooner because it does matter. Here, you can get positioned really well. You build momentum earlier, you get plugged in faster, and you're going to have more time to develop the skills and start learning while you earn, and then reach those goals now sooner rather than later. So it's just making the decision and then taking action.
What this can look like for you when you partner with us. We have an incredible kingdom minded mentorship community, support, a simple model to follow, a way to build income from home, from anywhere, really, a central hub for developing personally, spiritually, professionally, more flexibility with your time, more breathing room for your family financially, more experiences, and making more memories and then growth in ways that you didn't expect. This has been one of the biggest blessings when I got started in the online space too, was just the growth. I am not at all the person that I was. I used to be so shy and so afraid to show up. And this has really helped me to step into what God has called me to. And so that is one of the best parts. And this will open up so many more options for you and your family. And so that's part of why so many people are getting started here.
And so we want to share with you our good friend Kelly. We've gotten to work with her for 3 years and just get to know her really well and her family. And she's a homeschool mom. And she's someone who is also just a big dreamer and really wanted more. She was tired of living in debt and, not having community around her. And so I love what she shares. I'll just share a little bit here, and you're welcome to read the rest of it if you'd like to. But she says there's a genuine focus on growth, consistency, and keeping God at the center of it all. I've experienced encouragement, prayer, and leadership that continues to challenge me to grow, not just as an entrepreneur, but as a woman of faith. It's rare to find a community that carries both strong vision and deep values where kingdom impact, family, and business all align.
Absolutely. I love that girl. All right, so here's where it gets even more exciting. We have a little bit more to share with you, but by now there should be a link that's popped up here below this video where you can check to see if there's a promo going on right now for fast action takers. So make sure you check that out because everything we've shown you so far, it's really just the foundation. But when you decide to build with us, you're not just getting access to the platform. You're stepping into a system, a community, and support that's designed to help you actually win. And we've put together some bonuses to help you get started the right way from day one.
Yeah, so let's dive into these bonuses. The first one is our Abundance Wavemaker launch roadmap. And this is really your first 30 days mapped out for you what to do, what to focus on, and also what to avoid so that you're not guessing and you're not spinning at your wheels in the beginning. And so it's just going to give you clarity right out of the gate. And then bonus two is our abundance influence method. And this is huge because it's going to show you what to say, how to share, how to show up without feeling awkward or like you're trying to sell people. And we want you to learn how you can build trust with others and stay fully aligned in how you show up. So, bonus number three is a done for you funnel. And this is where we've taken what's already working, made it simple for you to plug into. So, you're not trying to figure out all the tech and all the things or build everything from scratch, and you can build smarter, not harder. And the fourth bonus is our new partner welcome call. And this is where we are going to help you. You're also going to get to meet other leaders as well and have the opportunity to do that. And you're going to get clear on your plan, walk you through what you need to be launching, and make sure you know exactly what to do next so you're not second guessing. And like I said, you just continue to have that confidence and clarity and working towards the goals that you have. And then the fifth bonus, this is your fast start accountability. And this is really what helps a lot of people, honestly, because you want that accountability to help you get momentum quickly. Like I said, we're going to be working closely with you. And so you're not doing this alone. You're going to have the support and check ins and guidance. And it's going to be great because you're going to get to connect with other women and people here that are building also to help with that. And you're going to start seeing results faster as you plug in. So when you join today, we're going to help you be getting started with our Abundance Living Collective support system. And all if you were to get all of this individually, it would be over $2,000. That is the total value of this. But because you're partnering with us, you are actually going to get it free when you get started. So you really can put all when you're putting all this together. I mean, the value is there, but you're going to, like I said, be able to have that all included. And this is something that would normally take Janine can tell you because she's also experienced it too. Um, could take months or years, days, like just so much kind of spinning your wheels, figuring this stuff out. And so we are helping you if you've been trying to piece this together. Trying to do that on your own could definitely be a lot and overwhelming. We don't want that for you as you're getting started. And so that's why we've done all the hard part and heavy lifting for you. And we're going to be here to walk with you all along the way.
Yeah, so when you start to look at all of this together, you're not just getting access to a business, you're getting a proven path, support, systems, and mentorship. You're getting a faith rooted community that wants to see you win. Obviously, again, things that would take you months and years to learn, you get to kind of skip all of our mistakes. And one thing that we want you to keep in mind too is, again, if there's any current promotion or fast action bonuses, you're going to see that here listed right below the video. So if you're ready, make sure you check that before you move forward. And we don't want this to be just like another moment where you feel inspired, but you stay stuck because most people wait, they overthink and nothing changes. But if you feel that pull, then don't ignore it. So you really have three options. So if this resonated with you, you probably already know why. You might be at a place where you want more, you're ready to try something different. So you can either stay where you are, you can start as a customer and start traveling and just experiencing life, or you can build with us as a lifestyle ambassador and build with Abundance Wavemakers and Priority Living. So what you're going to do is you're going to click the link below, you're going to choose Elite, and we recommend Turbo. And then you're going to message us joined so we can help activate your bonuses, but also because we want to pray over you and pray over your business. And so we can't wait to officially welcome you, and we'll see you on the inside.